Dylan Moore with iRead TV coming to you today. It is Tuesday, February 15th, 2022, and today I have Victoria Palmer from March for Freedom Washington in the studio today to talk to us about some really cool stuff, freedom-related stuff happening in Washington State. I have that right? Freedom-related stuff?
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, Victoria, thanks for coming in here today. I understand you have a few announcements and updates that you want to give on the March for Freedom because you've been very active. I don't know in the whole. Oh, we'll get to that. I don't know fully where you've been active yet, but we can talk about that more. But first and foremost, can you tell us what the new pastime or the new sport is in the United States?
Yes, Dylan, we were just talking about America's new sport. And I described how I was watching the Super Bowl on Sunday, and it just felt kind of shallow and meaningless with all that's developed this last year with workplace vaccination mandates and kids in the schools being forced to wear masks. And I'm like, no, America needs a new sport, and we're calling it Marching for Freedom. So we're out on the streets almost every weekend marching for freedom. We're bringing out families, kids, people of all backgrounds, and we're just joining together and supporting each other and getting honks from people driving by, getting people to join us. They just join us. And this is what we're doing here in Seattle and the nearby cities. We're not getting press coverage because if we did, people would start to wake up even faster. It's amazing.
We'd be in a completely different world if the press coverage was different.
Yeah,
yes.
It would. So I really appreciate independent press like yourself covering us.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being in here, else I'd have nothing to cover. So can you tell me a little bit about what March for Freedom Washington is and what your guys' goals are?
Yes. Dylan, it's been since April 2020 when I felt just driven to get out on the street with a sign because I just felt like we were going to be disconnected from each other with only like the internet between us. And I wasn't on social media very much. So I felt like, okay, I got to get out and just speak the truth. So I've been going out regularly since April 2020. In fact, I've counted over 200 times out on the streets. 200? Yeah.
You do this every other day?
We do it. Me and my team do it several times a week.
Okay.
So this is like a full-time job.
This is intense. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Because we really mean it. I mean, we're driven to speak the truth and stand for freedom and just be there for people, whoever needs us. So we have been doing this regularly, but we started marching almost 1 year ago. It was actually in March of 2021 when we finally felt like we had enough of a group of people to actually march in Seattle. So we marched along, we started at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and we marched down Mercer Street to the freeway and back. And we had over 300 people, and it was really awesome and great. People
on the first day you had 300 people?
Yeah.
Okay,
It was amazing because it was just basically calling together everyone that was already in the freedom community and bring your friends and family. We didn't get press coverage back then. So we did that. We did 3 marches from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And then it was the summer. Things started to lighten up. People could take their masks off. So we didn't march so much during the summer, but we did some other activities in the neighborhoods, and we were still getting out on the freeways and streets with our signs. So we were busy all week, all summer. Then it was in the fall when the mandates started to come, the vaccine mandates, the masks went back on, the schools opened, and the kids were faced with these masks, and then just a looming, potential student vax mandates. So we called it enough is enough. It was up to here as far as just one mandate after another. So I called together everyone I could, and we started marching in Seattle, starting at Westlake Plaza and marching through Pike Place Market as a group. And the first day we did that was October 30th, and we actually got a group of about 100 people together, which doesn't sound like a lot, but to get that many people to come to Seattle.
That's pretty good in Seattle.
To get that many people to Seattle, because the common reaction is like, oh, I don't want to go to Seattle. It's dirty there. It's scary there, So
that's how I feel about Seattle.
If that's not bad enough, you have to park, and that can be intimidating to a lot of people. So we had 100 people that day, and my goodness, we walked through Pike Place Market, and wow, they didn't know it hit them. It was amazing to see all of us just there carrying signs of truth and freedom, and just, we were saying no more mandates, just say no. That's kind of our chant. And we made a huge impact. And I said, okay, we're going to come back every week until we're heard. So we actually went back every single Saturday with a group. Sometimes we only had 20 people there. Sometimes we had closer to 100. But we went back every Saturday for 8 Saturdays in a row until the holidays, rain or shine. We just went back. And every time we would get just new reactions from people, because Pike Place Market is unique in that you get a cross section of people from Seattle. You get a lot of tourists. It's a really interesting area. There's a lot of people at eye level there.
And you got that nice, easy spot to walk through in front of everybody too. Yeah,
exactly. So it's kind of outdoors. You don't have to put a mask on. So it was a great place for interaction. And so at the end of that, I was approached by Casey with Wake Up Wa State. She's another group. And she said, Victoria, I represent some other groups, and we actually want to support you. We want to create like a big march. We all want to come together. And so that was the genesis of the January 8th march in Seattle, where we brought, it's hard to estimate crowds sometimes, but we estimate as much as 700 people were in Seattle to march through Pike Place Market. And I'm going to tell you, after marching 8 times through Pike Place Market and then to bring this huge crowd there, I mean, when we went into Pike Place Market on the 8th of January, we saw a jaws drop. People were just impressed with our presence. And I literally, during the march, there was a moment there where we had so many people, freedom-loving people together. You just felt like we elevated everyone. Like we felt like, okay, we actually have a chance in this. And so that's what we get from marching together, is we actually get such a morale boost that we take it with us. I keep hearing from people. It's been over a month since then, and I keep hearing from people, wow, Seattle was great. I just, things have been different since then. I've been more optimistic. I haven't worn a mask since then, things like that. So there is a lasting effect from these marches. So now what we're doing is we've gone outside of the city. We did a march in Everett last month, and then we did
here.
Yeah, exactly. And then just last Saturday we did a march in Bellevue, and people are just joining us. They're spreading the word online. We had over 500 people march in Bellevue, and it was just nonstop honking from cars, people joining us, people, it was a lot of families there, people pushing strollers, people, a lot of kids that are pushing back against the school mandates. So that was just this Saturday, and I'm still just, we're still just getting such a huge response from people who enjoyed that so much. And so Dylan, so that's the background as far as the impact that we've had. Yeah. And I'm trying to get the word out there, because the media isn't covering any of our marches. We get barely any attention from the media at all. So we have to get the word out there.
Yeah. And so, which is why we're here doing this. And of course they don't want to, I mean, what's the adage? They're going to ignore you, then they're going to laugh at you, and then they're going to fight you, and then you win. So you're still at the ignore stage, and you got to get at the laugh at stage.
That's a really good explanation. Thank you.
So what if you could narrow down your goals that you have with these marches? What would you narrow them down as?
I've always seen the value of our product of connecting with the people in Seattle, so that they know that there is a voice of dissent out there. What the people in Seattle they're subject to the same censorship, but they are also, the news media here is so biased, and there literally is so much censorship. I meet people every single time who say, "Thank you for doing this. I haven't seen this at all,"
which blows my mind. I don't understand how somebody is not connected into some sort of back media outlet at this point. Like what reality are you living in? Well, obviously you're living into the mainstream media reality, but the adage aside, how are you managing to get day by day without, like, how can you not know about the trucker convoy happening in Canada right now? I'm sure there's people who just don't know that that's happening.
We hear this every day.
Yeah.
People on the street.
Yeah, that's unreal to me. So
Dylan, the difference is you, me, and the people that we talk to, we're the freedom community, the truth and freedom community, and we do go online. We're looking for truth, and you can still find it. They can't block it as much as they'd like to. What we're talking about is the broader community is not out there looking. They're not searching for it. So they are censoring the what the search results and the algorithms online, so that those people are successfully shielded from this truth. So we feel that getting in front of their eyes in real life is the best way to get a message to them.
That's a very interesting way to look at it. So what, we wanted to bring you on to give you a chance to tell the story here really quickly. Mm-hmm. This isn't a full-length interview. We could schedule that later, but you wanted to tell us about what's coming up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's coming up? We have this Sunday in North Bend. We'll be doing a march at 1:30 starting at Torgeson Park, and so that's our next march. And then February 26th, we're marching in Tacoma. That starts at Ruston Point, and then we're really excited. We're trying to generate a lot of interest, a lot of people awareness to come back to Seattle March 26th. It's going to be the bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
We're just calling it even bigger. We had hundreds of people there last time. We want to get thousands of people there this time.
Is Pike Place Market still the
target?
The target, yeah.
It is because it's such a crucial place for face-to-face interaction. That's why we are, insisting that we bring everyone through there. And the truth is we don't know what the climate's going to be like then. We hope that the mask mandates end before then. The rest of the country is opening up. We believe that Washington State should be much more open before then. But we do know there's a lot of work to be done in the name of freedom. There's still a lot of mandates. There's still people who have been terminated for vaccine mandates that unjustly, and so we'll still be standing up for them. And there are other agendas at play here that need to be exposed. So there is a lot of work to be done for freedom on March 26th. So if the mandates are over, it's just going to be a continuing awareness of freedom and a celebration of freedom. And believe me, Seattle needs this. We need just an uplifting, together moment.
I was going to talk about Seattle specifically, but I did have another point / question, which is that, okay, the world is letting off of these mask mandates and COVID rules right now.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I think it's coordinated. I 100% think it's coordinated. They're all saying the same thing, which is it's time to end the mask mandates, or it's time to end the COVID requirements, whatever. And I'm not going to claim to know what exactly their strategy is, but I got the feeling they're letting off to let back on again, right? So even if the mask mandates are gone, I think there's still a reason to march and get the word out and whatever, because
yes.
The ability to put on the mask mandates is still there at any given time, right? So, speaking of Seattle, how do you feel when you hear people think of Seattle as a lost cause?
Oh, I hear that a lot. A lot of people, they've moved out of the city, or they're in the process of moving out of the city, and it's just, no, it's a lost cause is what they'll tell me. That's an accurate depiction. It doesn't hurt me because I know the truth. I've been out there on the street and I've seen it's coming back to life. There's a resurgence out there. And so it doesn't bother me. I let people do what they need to do. But I do make certain points like, come on, where are you going to move to? You going to go to Idaho or Texas or Florida?
Yeah.
Where they're just kind of like, they're one election away from having an Inslee type of a governor. Even Inslee's rumbling about running for president. So who knows what happens?
Please get him out of here. Let him get another 0% and embarrass himself.
And you think that's not possible, but apparently he knows how to pull strings in securing votes. So let's just say. So anyway, I put that there. I mean, the COVID agenda was all over the country. There was no corner that was not affected by this. So there is no where to run from this. Here's another thing that I tell people, and it seems to encourage them to stay, especially when they're active with me, is that because Seattle does seem to be a point of focus of this agenda, with heavy enforcement and compliance, it's an area that also has, we have the University of Washington, which is a huge player in this. We have all the biotech. We have Bill Gates.
Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Right.
Yes.
So I like to say,
Amazon, Boeing,
you name it. We are one of the tech centers of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to say, think of how valuable our actions are here, where we're getting our signs in front of their very employees, all the people associated with this. So so I feel as an activist, my actions and that of my group are magnified, and, for every action we do, it's tremendously valuable compared to, if we were being an activist in Idaho, there's not that much of a focused agenda there, so that, yeah, you can probably create a community there, but you're not going to have quite the same impact that you have here on the streets of Seattle.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. And if we all just up and leave, I left my phone on. Can everybody hear through the microphone the nice Celtic guitar playing?
Just keep talking and edit that out later, right?
It's harder to edit out than you think. But anyway, at least it's not some loud, obnoxious thing. It did cause me to forget what I was going to ask, though. Yes.
No, we're talking about Seattle.
Well, and then just leaving your home in general, saying, okay, it's bad here, I'm going to move. Well, you've just left the place a smoking crater.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. And then you think that, at what point is there going to be nowhere else to move to?
Yes.
Right? The United States used to be the place to move to. And now there's pockets in the United States that's the place to move to, and we're all going to eventually just move to Florida, and Florida is going to be the last free place. It's not going to work that way.
Exactly.
So
that's why we need to make a stand like this.
We need to make a stand. Mm-hmm. Where can you tell us about your website? How to get involved? Who should get involved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want everyone involved. People are bringing their kids out now because the kids are affected. This isn't just affecting adults. So bring the kids to one of our smaller marches, if you like, Tacoma or North Bend, where we're out of the city. But then you'll get a feel for it. And then it's like, okay, join us in Seattle. The website is marchforfreedomwa.com. So it's all one word, marchforfreedomwa.com. We're also on Instagram or YouTube or Rumble. And you can connect to those from the website, because we have we put up some good videos, because we like to lighten this up a little bit, and you can see how much of an impact we have and how much actually kind of fun we have out there. So.
I'm shocked you're still on YouTube. YouTube kicked our butts off.
Wow. Well, I'm very careful. We actually don't use a lot of words that might trigger things.
I see.
So we're careful in that regard. We just keep it, Seattle protests,
Seattle, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So we got, there was the big one on March 26th. There was another one in North Bend. When was that?
North Bend is this Sunday, and that would be the 20th.
The 20th. February 20th. What time?
That one's at 1:30 at Torgeson Park. So that one's a Sunday. We usually do Saturdays, but the organizer there needed it to be on Sunday. And then Saturday, February 26th, we expect a big group in Tacoma. There hasn't been a lot of activity down in Tacoma. There's been some. There's some.
March 26th, you mean?
No, that's February 26th.
Okay. So there's three of them now.
Feb 26th is Tacoma, and then it's going to go to March 26th is Seattle.
The big one.
Yeah.
The big one. And then if someone wants to show up to one of these things, is there information on the website? Or, okay, they listen to this and they forgot, but they remember the name of the website. Where should they go to figure out where to park and who to meet and that sort of thing?
Well, first of all, I hope I'm talking to people that want to get out there and they're feeling it. They know what's going on. They want to bring this to their neighborhood, to Seattle. If you need to sign up for my newsletter, and to do that, you kind of have to email me. So I know I'm fixing the website right now so that people can join. But for right now, email me at the best one is contact@marchforfreedomwa.com, and that does connect through the website. And then I'm going to add you to my list, because then you'll get the notices of our freeway appearances. You'll get the notices of every march, and just you'll get feedback and things like that. So that's really important.
Perfect. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
You know what? Honestly, we are collecting donations too. If I can just put a plug in for that, you can donate from the website. We have some expenses because we need to promote this all ourselves. We need to get some audio equipment. We need to do, but we've got quite a exciting event involved here. We actually applied for a permit this time, and they are more or less approving it for us.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do everything right this time, but we do need some funding. So donations are much appreciated.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty much all. I just encourage you. You know what I'm finding is that people really want to get out on the street, and it feels so good to be out there and expressing the truth. And so please join me. I want to help everyone come out that can.
Perfect. And then would you be willing to come back later for a longer term interview?
Yes, I would love that.
That'd be great.
All right.
That'd be great, because I know this is a quick one to get your events out.
Yeah.
So That being said, this is a quick one to get the events out, and it's been quick. So this has been Dylan Moore with iRead TV. You can find us at iRead.tv. As I just mentioned, we're censored off of YouTube now, and we're also censored off of... you get censored off of Twitter? I can't even remember. Nima takes care of all that crap. But if you want to figure out where to find us, go to iRead.tv up top. It'll show all the different social media where you can follow us. And then please head on over to marchforfreedomwa.com to sign up for the newsletter and help get the word out and boost the morale here in Washington. Or even if you're not in Washington, do this wherever you are, right? So this has been Dylan Moore with iRead TV, and I thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.